clarification there. And we don't have any A&Rs, I don't believe. So at 6:35, we'll have a waiver of site plan approval for 379 Main Street, the Starbridge Early Learning Academy. Following that, we'll have the town planner update, then old and new business, and adjournment. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of March 8th? Any questions, comments, nothing else? Any motion then to approve as submitted?
So moved.
I'll second.
Second, Dana, Jeff, have a choice on that. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed, no one. Very good. Okay, you have a packet or a report from Jean in front of you. She has reviewed the application. She has some information that the department heads reviewed it, and there were no comments or concerns raised. So I think with that, we'll have the proponents come up and maybe explain what the project is.
I'm Jessica. Patty.
Hi.
So we currently own Starbridge Early Learning Academy at 440 Main Street. We opened in 2018, and we are very full and busting at the seams. So we see the need in the community, and we want to open a second location at 379 Main Street. We feel like the building would be a good use for the business. It's all one level, and
We're not going to make too many changes, and we've been down this road before, so we kind of have an idea of what you guys are looking for, and the signs and the conservation and all that kind of stuff, so that we can, get it going within those parameters.
we will be like fully licensed daycare through the Department of Early Education and Care. So it will be open very similar hours or the exact same hours as we are now. And we shouldn't have to, like she said, change much. The drop-off and pickups will kind of be staggered as kids get dropped off anywhere from 6:45 to 9:30. So not all of the 57 children that we hopefully will be licensed for would be dropped off at the same time. They'd be staggered throughout the morning, and then again for pickup in the afternoon, they'd be staggered again from anywhere 2:30, 3 o'clock to 5:30. So.
Very good.
So, yeah, we probably won't create a lot of congestion in there,
Yeah.
and we feel as though we have sufficient parking spaces and to meet the needs of the staff, as well as drop off and pick up with the children.
The only thing we're going to add is the fencing around the back of the building for a play area to be completely fenced in around the back, as well as a dumpster enclosure that will match the fencing for the playground to the left of the building all the way to the back.
Very good. Okay. Well, as I mentioned, Jean indicated that the meeting was held on site with the fire, police, building conservation, and planning departments, and no major concerns were noted. She notes here that no changes will be made to the exterior of the building, and the lawn area and landscaping will be maintained and improved. As you just mentioned, she talks about the fenced area for the playground, and also the dumpster enclosure will be installed once the conservation approval is obtained.
Mhm.
And I think that Jean concludes that since the project proposes to utilize the existing parking lot and renovate the existing building, it will not impact any site plan standards. Therefore, she believes that the site plan approval can be waived in this instance because the proposed changes to the approved site plan will not substantially affect existing drainage, vehicular, and pedestrian circulation patterns, or any of the standards or criteria provided for in Section 300-19.4 procedure. So she's recommending that the board does waive the site plan approval and has some conditions. So with that, do we have any questions? Dane, do you have any comments or questions on this?
Yeah, I just, it's open access to that adjacent parcel. You guys aren't gonna put up a fence across that property line or anything? It's still gonna have like the adjacent parking lot?
Yep,
sorta
like
stay the
where
same?
we don't plan to block that off at all. I think it will kind of help too with like, flow of traffic and not blocking everyone to kind of.
The whole town's used to that, so I was just curious.
Yeah.
if you
Yep,
were
no,
gonna
we don't
change it.
plan to, no. So the only difference would be that you can't drive around the back of the building anymore because of the playground.
Gotcha.
But the fire chief said that was fine because the building's so short that,
They could still
doesn't need to-
access it
yep.
as they needed to.
Yes.
but other than that, everything will remain the same.
Okay, that was my only question. Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Wally?
Wally?
Yeah, the access to the daycare will be from going in front of Thai Place in that area there, and also in front of where Waterworks Road is.
Yeah, so you can just,
Either way you
I'm
can
not
get in.
sure what Waterworks Road is, I'm sorry, but you can just go right down or Route 20 and take a right into the parking lot.
Right, where you would in
Yep.
front of optical.
Yeah.
Yes, and then at the optical store, and then the other, you could also, if you could also get in
By Sawdust Cafe.
by Sawdust Cafe, but the
Yep.
other entrance would be where the hotel, the little motel is too. You could get in
Yep.
that way as well too.
Yep.
I was just thinking, you should mention the congestion and things like that, and you're staggering your drop off like from 6:30 or to 9:45 or whatever.
Yep.
That is, and that's also a big coffee crowd coming in there too.
Yep.
So, I mean, the kids aren't gonna be in line to get coffee.
Yeah.
but-
No, and it
but
is
okay.
nice because most of the parking's on the opposite side, so,
They're all gonna come in, drop off, and or just scoot up the other side, the
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
eastbound. All right, that
Yeah.
works well.
yeah,
Great.
I think it'll be a nice transition.
Yeah, we thought of like a lot of these things when we chose this building.
Yeah.
We were looking at a lot of different spots.
Looks like an ideal location.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should be
that's
very
what we
good.
thought,
Yeah,
and for a
Nice to
lot
have
of
something in there,
reasons,
too.
yeah.
great.
And it's right up the street from the other one, so
Right.
Yeah.
makes it
even
easy
more
for
convenient.
us.
Exactly. Great. Sue, do you have any questions or comments?
The suggestions from the different departments, for example, the police suggested putting up barriers at the playground,
Yep.
and so that will be,
Yep,
Yeah,
so, Jean had emailed about us to send, potentially bring so I have an example of what we might put up. We were kind of talking actually before here about exactly, this might not be the definite ones we will put up, but there will be some sort of,
are working on
yes.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
oh, absolutely. We won't put the,
So-
we won't have children even come in until those things are in place.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys I have enough copies, do you want me to
Oh, sure. Yeah.
pass them out? So it'd just be something like this, like on the exterior of the fence.
Right.
And what are the other ones called, like the wider ones?
Oh, we were also thinking maybe those orange barriers that are really heavy, whatever is gonna do the job that is.
Guardrail or the,
Yeah, but I think these will look better, so
Yeah.
this is kind of what we're shooting for sure.
Very nice, yeah.
yeah, they have these like at Cumberland Farms and those places.
Right,
if you
yeah, so that the
look at
cars
them.
can't go
Yeah.
drive into the building.
The building, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they want us obviously to protect the schoolyard, so we
Yes.
can, he pretty much just mentioned on the left-hand side.
Where the cars will be parked, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the parking lot area.
Do cars have access to the other side?
Not well, I guess, so
Well,
it's
this
a
side of
right
the
of way on
building.
the right-hand side, there's like a right of way that we
there's a
can't
road in.
do anything. We also are leasing the building, so
Yeah.
I guess our cars won't be going there, so I guess that'd be a question for the fire chief if he wants them on the other side as well.
We'll check
And the
with him.
police chief?
Oh, the
Yeah,
police chief.
Yeah.
he pretty much said, I think where the parking lot is.
Yeah, there's more
The
traffic on
other's
that
just
side. than
driving,
there would be.
it's just, it's a road and they can just drive. It's kind of not like leading into it.
Right.
Like you go around it. So I think that it was okay because it's not typically
Yeah, he
a,
didn't mention the other side.
Just a thought.
We'll have
He-
to
yeah.
ask him, yeah,
Because there is a driveway there,
right,
not everybody's gonna know the traffic pattern.
right.
Is there a door from the back of the building right out into the play yard?
yes. There are two, one from, yeah.
So,
That's the only way we will access the schoolyard is directly from the interior of the building.
is
So we
there
don't
a
have to
gate
worry about
on the
that.
outside
From
from the playground?
Yes, there will be a
To get
gate.
to the parking lot, yes,
Okay.
Yes.
yep,
And as I recall, they're high. It's gonna be high.
Yes.
yes, 6
Thanks.
foot, yep.
Yeah.
For safety.
Yes.
Yeah, I know
That's what
about
we
the
have
police.
now, and the latch is all the way at the top, and it has to
Right.
be like the double, like, lift thing.
Yeah, and licensing is really strict with that kind of stuff
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it makes sense too. Yeah, it's high enough for an adult, it's latched, but a child couldn't go in and out of it.
Have you applied for licensing yet?
We can't until we actually
Right.
have it, like, ready for children to be in the building. Like, we have
So-
to have our furniture in,
We have to have
and-
staff hired and on payroll before we can even enroll children, before children can even walk through the door. before they'll even license us.
Is there any problem with limiting licenses from the state?
No, I think there's a need for childcare that they're gonna,
Yeah.
yeah, and I had mentioned it to our licensor at our current location, we had a visit, and I mentioned it to her, we talked a little bit about, if she could come look at it ahead of time, that type of thing, but since we've been doing it for so long, Patty's had 2 other centers in the past, or one and other one still, that we've gone through this so often that we
Yeah.
know what they kinda need
Yeah,
before.
I'm 32 years since I opened my first one, so.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
good
you.
question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's that? Jeff?
I have no question.
Okay, great. So the conditions are that all construction and site improvements shall be in conformance with the plans submitted and approved by the planning board. All state and local zoning bylaws, building codes, and regulations must be adhered to. Number 3 is all necessary permits must be obtained prior to the start of construction. Number 4, the site shall be kept clean and in orderly condition throughout the construction process. And the last one is that an emergency contact phone list with at least 2 names and numbers on it shall be supplied to the Starbridge Police Department to be used by the dispatchers in case of an off-hour emergency prior to the start of the project. The list must be updated whenever necessary for the duration of the project. So with those conditions, do we have a motion to grant the waiver of site plan approval?
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. Second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed, no one? Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good luck to you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess the next item is simply the town planner update. And Jean wants to remind us the town elections are April 11th. And do you know what times they are? Does it start at 6? 6:30. 6:30. 6:30 to 8? Okay. Our next meeting dates are April 12th and April 26th. Nothing has been filed yet. And Jean informs us that there's a new tenant for DeLeo Gas Building, the DeLeo Gas Building at 51 Technology Park. It's a vitamin co-packer, and there's a little description here of what the impact will be, which seems to fit in very well with the site. Okay, any old or new business, Dane?
No.
No? Wally?
All set?
Jeff? Okay, this could be a record meeting here. I won't let anyone else speak. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? No one? All right, great.
Okay.
Very good.